Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Right. So, I have promised this for ages, and I can't apologize enough to my Patreon supporters, because I promised a Q&A. So, I thought now would be a good time to do that. And yeah, I'm just going to go through all my Patreon questions, answer them, and then take a look at your questions too if you're streaming this. So I do have some questions prepared. And yeah, I guess we'll just get straight to it. Hopefully you can hear me all right. I'm trying to be a bit more pro and try and have a better sound quality. So I'm hoping you're enjoying the dulcet tones of the SM7. And yeah, there are already a lot of you here. So, okay, let's get on with it. But hopefully you're all doing all right. And yeah. I'm a little bit quiet. All right. I will. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Is that better? Go up a little bit louder. Okay, perfect. Cool. I'm just my own little broadcasting house here, so always bear with me. Right, firstly, I would love to see the locations from where you're coming. I love seeing the craziness that goes on in the chat when people tell me where they're from. So be doing that while I answer some questions. All right. Okay. Chris asks, why road cycling and not mountain biking? Simply, I love mountain biking too. I'm just not very good at it, and I just kept falling off too much, which obviously for a guitarist is not the best thing to do, because I just don't want to break my arm or do anything stupid. So road cycling, obviously you go a lot faster downhill though, and you need to be really careful. I obviously wear a helmet, and I really only really cycle on roads I know at the moment. But to be fair, mountain biking seems more enticing right now because cars are back. So during a moment in lockdown, obviously there weren't many cars on the road, and that was kind of nice. But now it's a little bit different. Okay, so Chris, I hope that answers your question. Also, I loved the Tour de France, and I watched it in 2011 for the first time and got hooked on it. So much so, which year was it that Mark Cavendish wore the yellow jersey on my birthday and I cried? So that's how, some people like football, some people like, American football, soccer, or, English football. and they get emotional for that. I get emotional for road cycling. But this year I was just a little bit too busy while the Tour de France was going on, and I just couldn't quite keep up. Okay, Tim asks, when you get a new guitar, how much do you pick up the old guitars? I got a new guitar about a year ago, and the old guitar sat in the closet unused. But after a while, it called to me, and I picked it up, and it inspired me with its unique tones that I hadn't heard in many months. Yeah, I mean, you can see, I don't know whether you'll be able to see in the background, I have a new Fender Strat. I don't think you could see that at all. Maybe I should go over this way. And yeah, at the moment I'm hooked on that, on the tone of that. I often find myself being called by guitars too. So for a long time I was playing the Martin SE13E, and now I'm playing my OM28E again a lot more. So it kind of just depends. And yes, like I'm going to offend people by saying this, but I have too many guitars that not all of them get played every day of the week. So I do have my favorites and probably need to do something about that. Okay, Juan asks, is there a guitar from your past that you wish you got but were unable to? The one that got away? Mine was an R. Taylor style too. Yes, there was this one guitar I saw in Chicago Music Exchange, and what was it? I'm even trying to remember, but now that shows how much I had to get over it. It was this beautiful hollow body, really slim. Now I'm not going to be able to think what it was. I also played a 1956 Fender Strat in that video, so it kind of got overshadowed by $30,000 guitar, which I'll never be able to afford. Was it a Gretsch? I don't think it was a Gretsch. It was beautiful. It was 1962. How can I remember the year, but I can't remember the brand? And it was sort of like tobacco sunburst, had F-holes, sounded excellent, was a Florentine swirl, and yeah, it was just extraordinary. It was a Guild. You're right. It was a Guild. Thanks, Vincent. God. Shows you how tired I am right now. It was a Guild. So, and it was $1,000. Which for a 1960s instrument, I thought at the time, I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. Should have bought it. But to be honest, I just didn't have the money at the time. And I just couldn't go for it. So you know how it is. I sort of shouldn't have gone and played it really when I couldn't just walk away with it. But, life lesson. Sergio, what equipment do you use to make your videos? Okay, so I just did a recent studio tour, desk tour. And to be honest, for the longest time, I was on a Canon 80D, made famous by Casey Neistat. And I was on the cheapest lenses. And, since changing cameras, like I haven't seen any improvement in terms of like hits and stuff like that. So some of my most popular videos were just done on cameras that are very popular. They are easy to use, DSLRs, but nothing too crazy. I did take the opportunity to invest in new cameras just because I personally wanted to see my quality go up. And so now I'm using the Canon R, EOS R, and the lenses that go with that. And yeah, sometimes I've uploaded things that I've filmed on my iPhone. So I do that. And then obviously using an SM7, I use a Rode mic as a boom for audio into a Zoom. And these are all things that, obviously it amounts to a lot of money, but you don't need to buy it all at the same time. I now manual color grade. Yeah. again, just like learning how to do that. I still edit the majority of my videos. I'd say like 80% of my videos are mine. The thing that gets edited mainly by my friend John is guitar stories. And yeah, you just don't need much. You don't need much. And I know how it looks, and I know when people are like, YouTubers are changing because they have to keep improving themselves, and they have to keep improving their workflow, and they have to keep investing in their businesses, you know. So I know it looks like I have a lot of stuff now, which I do, and I'm quite proud of being able to buy this stuff because of my wonderful patrons. Like, some of them have been with me so long, and you know, it's less than 500 people that really like make this YouTube channel possible, which is incredible, and I'm just, you know, completely indebted to every single patron there. So yeah, so, you know, have to change up your workflow, and, you know, when the numbers start getting bigger as well, you do feel the need to give it the time and attention that those people deserve. So you do have to end up upgrading. And, you know, it's just like acquiring instruments. Certain things do different things, and you kind of have to figure that out as you go, and make all the mistakes of filmmaking that I've done in the past. My God, have I made terrible, terrible videos, but, you know. Okay. Ryan asks, if I give you maybe 5 or 10 or whatever those pounds, those pound things are, will you restring all of my guitars? I really don't like restringing. No, I'm sorry, Ryan. No. I need to pay someone to restring all my guitars. So there we go. Simon asks, which artist has inspired you the most recently, and why? Which artist? Do you know who I've been listening to a lot recently? And she is super inspiring. Shania Twain. I love her. I think firstly, I grew up with her music. And secondly, she's an absolute legend for a reason. And the hit after hit after hit after hit after hit album after hit album, what is it? Over 100 million records sold or something crazy. Yeah, total inspiration. So recently been really, and also her work ethic. I watched this documentary where she was doing behind the scenes of her Las Vegas show. And I just can't believe the work ethic behind putting something like that on. And then she was like one moment practicing harmonies with her band, and then she was helping sort out like how she flies in on a motorcycle above the crowd, and then she was riding a horse on stage. And then she was singing for however many hours, and then she was dancing with backup dancers and having to do all the choreography, and then she was also being, you know, like a business mogul, and being very like she was basically being her own creative director. And it was just like, damn, that is so awesome that she does all these things and she wears so many hats. And it's like, oh, that's what it takes to be a musician. She had the vision. And also, fun fact, she got signed at my age now. So when people are like, oh, you need to be 17 to be signed, it's like, you know, that was 25 odd years ago. It's like, that's not true. So okay, I'm aware that some people are very kindly doing super chats. I'm sorry. So Jake, love your work. What's your fave pick when you aren't playing fingerstyle? I play fingerstyle all of the time, so I don't even have a fave pick. I think the plectrums I have around my studio are all freebies from like guitar magazines or something. So I'm sorry. The Smith plays, do you have any advice for learning to sing and finding your voice? Been playing guitar for some time now, and I'm growing an interest in learning to sing. Learning to sing, I mean, that's awesome that you've made that choice. I would say really try and monitor your breathing first, and find out exactly where you're singing from, because you don't want to do any damage to your voice. And it's a bit like practicing an instrument in terms of like making sure your technique is on point so that you're not damaging anything. Just like same with practicing chords and building up, and don't sing for hours and hours and hours on end when you're quite new to it. Sing for a little bit at the time and build up your stamina. In terms of finding your voice, I mean, there's only so much change you can do to your voice, and it will evolve over time as you keep on practicing. And it's okay to listen to other people and see what they're doing, but you can't sing like other people. And it's a mistake to want to as well. It's, you get into bad habits by trying to mimic. But anyway, Anne says, love your channel, Mary. Do you use a Kemper? No, I don't. I would love a Kemper. But I'm also pretty happy with the aux box and my, just having my orange run into that, and then just using all the UAD software. It's quite extraordinary what I can get out of that. So I haven't really felt the need for a Kemper. I'm not doing so many different styles of music that I need to download profiles and stuff. So I think they are incredible, and all my friends who have them are just like blown away. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. All right. Just hoping that I caught everyone's. Joel, thank you. Would you ever play a Jackson? Also, please don't listen to the government and retrain. Oh man, I know. One of my good musician friends was told to retrain as an actor, which I was like, how does that work? Anyway, who knows what's going on? Joel asks, have you ever tried the Tone City Little Heat Greycock overdrive pedal? Well recommended. I haven't, and I should. Thank you very much. Right, okay, let's get back to Sergio. Would you ever take a gift from a patron like a guitar? No. I'm going to say no. Every patron already gives me so much. Just in terms of moral support too. I wouldn't be able to accept gifts. I feel too English and too uncomfortable, and would much rather that whoever was wanting to gift me something went and found a local school of kids and donate it to them. And actually, I mean, this is something that I need to discuss with some of the companies that I work with, but I need to start donating the guitars that I have and that have brought me so much joy, but that I simply don't need, because I understand why people build up guitar collections. And if I were a session player and I needed hundreds of different instruments to get different tones and different things for different people, then it would make sense to build up more of a collection. But it's going to be my priority over the next few months to start donating my guitar collection. And I'm putting that on the record so that people, I'm very aware that people see me acquiring gear, because I am in a fortunate position, and obviously companies look at my platform and they sponsor videos, and that is just part of my business, and that's how I live, and it's how I keep reinvesting. It's how I keep reinvesting and making records too. My God. I want to start being open and honest with the companies that send me instruments, that I will be starting to donate them. And I'm just going to be donating them to people that I want to donate to. I won't do it publicly. So, I mean, also, I just hope that, encourages more people just to keep on picking up instruments. And, I benefited so much from instruments that were left around the schools that I grew up in. Okay, so Jules, thank you very much for your comment. That's very, very sweet. Thank you. Pablo, will you ever come to the south of Chile? There's a very cool place here called Teatro del Lago. That was a terrible accent, sorry. High quality acoustics. Awesome. I would love to, guys. You know, once I can travel, I will be traveling. Don't you worry. But obviously, want everyone to stay safe and sound right now. RSG16. What is some must-have equipment for a guitar player songwriter? Acoustic guitar and a notepad, and your phone. There we go. That's what you have to have. Write into your phone and just record voice note after voice note, and just always be writing. So that's more important than anything. Michael says, do you still prefer self-promotion and your own distribution, or are you tempted to sign a 360 deal with a major label? No, I will never sign a 360 deal with a major label. Mainly because there's only so much you need. You know, like I need loyal supporters to help me do this, because I'm willing to work at it, and I'm willing to work for them. I'm not willing to work for a company that purely, you know, only sees me as a money making thing. I just sadly think music has been commoditized too much. I think it's too difficult to rely a whole company on how a song does. I think I just want to make music for myself now. And if my fans and followers enjoy that music, then win-win. But I just don't feel the need to be broadcast in front of any more people than I already am. So no, I prefer self-promotion, definitely. Also, for any singer-songwriters out there, like, if you think that there is an easy option where you sign to a manager and you sign a contract and they're going to take 20%, if you ever think that is going to take a load off your back, then you're very, very wrong. You need to be constantly managing them, and you need to constantly be moving your own business forward, because after all, if you're entering the music business, it's an industry, and you need to remember that. So never think that someone who has 20% stake in your business is actually going to do 100% of the work. It's just a terrible, terrible plan. There we go. Lecture over. Robert says, what is the biggest struggle when it comes to finding individuality in your own sound? I mean, it's the patience, I think. I think having patience and understanding that you're not going to find it until someone else tells you that you found it. Because for me, like I knew there was a path I didn't want to go down, and I didn't want to go down the heavily produced electronic stuff, which I kind of started venturing down. And I was like, I just want to write songs, and sometimes I want to use software instruments, sometimes I want to use real instruments, and sometimes I just want to serve the song, and sometimes I just want it to be me and a guitar, and that's all I want. And then when I stand up on stage, I just want to sing my songs. So I think, and it's the juxtaposition between finding your own sound and then having all your songs sound the same. Because you don't want to just be writing the same song over and over and over again. You want to keep moving your craft forward, but to find that distinctive sound, it is next to impossible, and I think I'm still searching. But the coolest thing is that I think now my guitar playing style, which, you know, is not the most virtuosic, but it's sufficient enough to serve my songs. And as I write, I try and push myself in terms of finding a cool lick or a cool chord progression that makes me a better guitar player. And then tied with my voice, you know, I sing. So that helps finding your own sound. So I mean, it's next to you know, how do you do anything? You just put in the work and put in those hours, and you'll eventually realize that everyone else is taken. So just be yourself. That famous quote. Matt says, have you seen the introduction by Fender of the Her Stratocaster? What is your reaction? I mean, it's a beautiful instrument. And what is it, $1,000? I mean, that's a lot of money, obviously. But for a signature guitar, and it looks so good, I might have to just buy one to support the cause, and then maybe just give it away or something, because it's a stunning instrument. It's stunning. I want to get my hands on it. I want to really hear how it sounds. You know, like I mean, I just want to see all the creative choice like right in front of me. Get my hands on one. Matt asked 2 questions. Well, a few. What music do you love to listen to that in your mind is least like the music you write and play? I mean, a lot of the chart music. I do listen to chart music. You know, you kind of have to keep an eye on what's going on. And also, I love escaping. And I think some of the production right now going on is just so good. Yeah, I listen to a lot of very, very current music. And then, you know, trying to venture into other genres too. So Seth asks, I think I saw a Daily Stoic book in a recent video. Are you a fan of that philosophy? Helped me a lot. Yeah, I am a fan of that philosophy. I'm still learning a lot about it. And yeah, it's helped me out of some mental roadblocks. Just learning a little bit more about Stoicism. Yeah, just a lot more to learn. So recommend me some books. I mean, yeah, Daily Stoic is great. It's really, really great. Thoroughly recommend it. Ken asks, do you have a guitar case with stickers on it? And since it is coming, what was your last favourite dress up for Halloween? I don't think I do have a guitar case with stickers on it anymore. I think I did. Maybe one of my Vigier guitars has a few stickers on it, but nothing other than like Vigier stickers. My favourite dress up for Halloween was one time at university. I can't remember the last year I actually dressed up. I can't remember the last time I celebrated Halloween. No offence to anyone that celebrates Halloween hardcore. I dressed up as a pumpkin to be the opposite of what everyone else was dressing up at university. So I bought this orange jersey dress thing and painted, you know, like a pumpkin style, you know, like the carvings on the pumpkin. I painted that onto that, and then I stuffed a pillow up that top, wore orange tights, and then had a green beret. Did I have a green beret? Did I get a green beret? And then I painted my face orange too. And yeah, it was a pumpkin and danced around like looking like a pumpkin. So that was my favorite one. Anyway, very silly. Selma, how come you never... this is a good question. How come you never really did anything with the Rachel Collier remix of A Little Bit of Madness? Any chance of having that appear on our favourite streaming platforms? Man, I tried. I I'm not quite sure what happened, but basically I uploaded a little bit of madness with a different distributor than I now use. I now use DistroKid, and ever since switching to DistroKid, I have never had a single problem. But uploading to DistroKid the remix, it wouldn't register it because of it being tied up with a different streaming platform. So I just hit a roadblock. And then I made it Bandcamp only, and then I made it for my patrons. But yeah, I couldn't I couldn't get it up online. So I just need to figure that out, because it's a killer remix, right? I mean, that's why we did the course together. If you don't know, we collaborated on a course of me learning Ableton. And Rachel, I feel like I found my creative soulmate with her, because one, she's incredibly hardworking. Two, she's not only talented, but knowledgeable and educated around everything in music production. And then she's also, she's just a student of the craft, and she just wants to be the best. And I really admire that. Okay, so many more questions. Thank you, Mega X6, sorry. Thank you very much. Mohammed, do you like Chet Atkins's music? If yes, would you name any interesting tunes you remember him with? Now, I was introduced to Chet Atkins by my friend Jake, and we listened to a lot of his albums. But the person I feel like, I need to deep dive again. Because I'm very, very, very aware of how important he is. So didn't he did the album with Mark Knopfler, right? And I have that on record, and I haven't opened it. That's terrible. That's terrible to admit. And my friend John will criticize me for not doing that, because I bought him the record at the same time and we were meant to listen to it. So I remember Mick Taylor saying, I asked Mick and Dan a question when we were doing a Tuesday Talks, and I was like, if you could take a player's left hand and a player's right hand, but two different players, who would you choose for each hand? And I think he chose Chet Atkins for right hand, right? Yeah, neck and neck. That's it. Okay. Enquiries, it was great to meet you. And yeah, I did introduce you to Pliny. That was hilarious. That was such good timing. I'm super devastated about NAMM not happening this year, because every year just gets crazier and crazier. And that was a cool moment where you were telling me what a fan you are of Pliny, and then he literally walked out, and I was like, oh man, yeah, here we go. I can make an introduction. So yeah, it was great to meet you too. And I'm sad that I won't be able to meet all of you this year, but it's for the greater good for it to not happen, and it means we avoid Namthrax too. Sorry. Kevin asks, Mary, since the lockdown, is there a new guitar on your radar? Maybe something that you keep looking at online? No. I have acquired a lot of gear over the last few months, and I feel very fortunate, and I'm not currently searching for anything else. I know there are always suggestions of things I should be playing or should be doing or whatever, and I keep an eye on those sorts of things and just make sure that I am learning about the gear for other people too, and keeping my eye out. I mean, the Her Stratocaster to me was just very cool, and it looks so good, and it sounds good. So yeah. No, not since lockdown. I was thinking about other things, earlier on in the year, and then obviously we all just need to be careful in terms of just how employment and stuff is going at the moment. I just need to be a bit careful, and yeah. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Mark, it's a cool and rainy day in England, and like that ever happens, and your bike riding partner pulls the plug on your daily ride. I wish I rode daily. I do not. I have been out very little over this last few months. What is your go-to food and TV show? Mine is tomato soup with a grilled cheese sandwich and the Detectorists. Awesome. Okay. I haven't heard of the Detectorists. Right now, I will say, what is a good TV program I'm watching at the moment? I'm watching a lot of bad TV, like Grey's Anatomy. I mean, it's not bad. I really enjoy it. Grey's Anatomy, just because I don't really have. Wait, that's a lie. What did I watch recently? I watched a series recently that blew me away. Oh, Ratched, Sarah Paulson on Netflix. That TV series was mind-blowing and terrifying and brilliant and genius. And yeah, I'm not really a fan of American Horror Story because I find it too terrifying. But Ratched was perfect, sort of thriller-esque. So yeah, that would be, if I could watch that again. Oh man, it was only I think it was 10 episodes, and I wish it had been far. Maybe it was 8 episodes. I wish it had been far more. So that, and then food-wise, what food would I eat? Fish and chips. There we go. I'll go all English. Marcelo asks, you seem to be very happy with all that is going on in your life. Are you exactly where you pictured yourself in your life at this point? No. And let's be honest, I'm not happy all the time. I don't want to say that I am. I don't want you guys just to think that when you start doing even the thing you love every day, that it just makes you happy and elated forever. I mean, I'm sure many of you are aware that it's just it's a daily battle for a lot of people just to make sure that you're okay. And I'm trying to remember that every time I'm unhappy or things are feeling a little bit low, that I just try and avoid getting too low. And then when things are going well, I avoid getting too happy because I just kind of want to just be level-headed and yeah. But the thing at the moment that's really keeping me company, I've been through quite a lot of self-quarantining recently, and just trying to stay safe, and just conversations with other people and friends and stuff like that. And yeah, I just want to understand that other people are going through obviously worse things, but I need to keep in touch with friends and family and make sure you're looking after your people. Those conversations absolutely brighten my day, and today has actually been a day where I've just been like on the phone all day, just catching up and then talking to people that I'm starting to work with and stuff like that, and just making sure everyone's good. David, do you have plans to create any more courses over on maryspender U? If so, what might we look forward to there? Yeah, I'm working on a course. Hopefully you guys will like the idea of this, a bit more of an intermediate guitar playing fingerstyle course. And it's just going to revolve around my songs and how to play them, how I decided to use those sort of certain techniques, and the sort of different parts, the verses, the choruses, and yeah, just show you how I play the guitar. I think, it's very easy to lecture, and there are definitely definitive ways of playing. There's definitely definitive ways of playing the guitar. Obviously, that's why people go to university and music colleges. But for me, I know that there are other people that you could turn to if you want to play like those people. But if you want to play like me, then I'm probably the best person to talk about it. So I've got all the songs tabbed up. So the tabs are ready, and I just need to get filming and editing. So yeah. Okay. Oh, I've got another question. Anna asks, how do you combat the habit of comparing your work to other musicians? Do you know what? In terms of songs, I really don't compare my work because I guess I still just write for me. I compare my work on YouTube, and I want to really just keep upping my game and keep finding topics that you will find interesting. But it's really hard, and especially with social media. I think it's not the work that you compare, it's more the lifestyle, isn't it? And if anyone watched Social Dilemma, they know that other people are making a lot of money out of that, of us all comparing and losing ourselves to our phones and scrolling endlessly at night. So we all just need to be careful and just stop comparing. I mean, you simply have to stop doing that behavior to be happier in yourself, because you can't do it a small amount. It brings you down too much. David asks, what music gear and music software would you like to purchase over the next 12 months and why? I want to get to know everything that I have at my fingertips already intensively, and I want to explore everything I have and put limitations on myself, because I think that's the best way to fuel creativity, is giving yourself a deadline, giving yourself limitations, and I just don't want to look at any other gear right now anyway and think that it will make me a better musician, because it simply won't. I just have to work at my craft a bit more on the things I already have. Ted asks, what is your dream bike that you would buy if money were no object or have gifted to you? So bike-wise, so it would be road bike. It would be far lighter than my one right now. Mine is very heavy and very old, and I've never felt the need to upgrade. But if I were to get a new one, I love the Factor bikes. I love Specialized. I mean, they're Venge. I mean, yeah. There are so many, but they're all very expensive and they're all very hardcore road bikes. And I kind of think I want like a touring bike, not to literally go touring with, but Rhett's in the chat. Hi, Rhett. The Scott Addict is quite good. It is, but I have to be wary of frames now that are suitable for me. So you should probably get a bike fit first before you buy a bike. So I'm going to do that soon, actually, hopefully, COVID permitting. Ted asks, when you are creating new songs, what inspires you and what is the process to choose various keys and chord progressions? Is there a Mary Spender signature tone and feel you strive for in your compositions? No, I mean, writing a song is already hard enough. So my process, key-wise, like you're kind of limited when you're a vocalist who you have to be able to write within your range. So there are certain... And less, I wouldn't say I worry about keys too much. I worry about guitar tunings. So I often write in standard, and just go from there. And I usually start writing on an A chord, because for some reason that's just where I start. I don't know. Chord progression wise, I love anything with the suspension. So I don't really like just normal like major chords. I love sus chords, and try and just incorporate them somehow and just get all those emotions. That's what I strive for. William asks, what do you think of Richard Thompson? I mean, he's a phenomenal musician. I saw him live in 11. No, how old was I? I was 23. 2013 at Lavatory Festival. He is British, right? He's British. And then I love Teddy Thompson, his son. Made some damn good music. There was a song called Get Out of Bed. Oh, I should get up. I should get up. I should go out. There's song I can't live without. And Teddy Thompson wrote that. Matthew, what orange amp would you suggest for a complete beginner? Also, thank you for the great content. The Crush series. I mean, I've made a video about them. The Crush series are great. I want to say that the Crush... Is it the Crush 20? The first one with reverb. You guys are gonna... does the Crush 20 RT... I'm just Googling just so that I make my Yes, it's got reverb and a tuner. It's £160 in the UK. In the UK. I just really enjoyed it. No pressure. I don't get any money for saying that whatsoever, I promise. But yeah, I just think the Crush 20 RT is just it's just fun, and it's got reverb and a tuner. I think that's really important. It just saves you money in other ways too. Hopefully that answers your question. KB, thank you for the donation. Right. Wow, there are 1,000 of you watching. Blimey. Thank you for watching. Right, back to these Patreon questions. John asks, will you find a local distributor in North America for your products? I would love to find a distribution house. It's very small time, my merch store. Still, I manage all the stock. I do have a little bit of help shipping, but it's just quite difficult to, build out your business that way when, it's like limited edition stuff. Yeah, I mean, it would cost too much. And I know how difficult it is posting stuff. Like the prices from here to the USA, postage wise is so devastatingly large. And, it's not like I'm getting that money. It's not coming back to me. It's just going straight to Royal Mail. And yeah, it's just, it's something I need to think about. Or maybe I just do limited edition merch drops every so often. But yeah, John asks, what are your favorite social media in order of preference? So I don't see YouTube as a social media platform. I see it as like a TV network now, and just a killer form of creativity. I just see some amazing things being uploaded every day to YouTube. So I don't really see it as a social media platform other than maybe live streams, and that's amazing. So obviously YouTube would be at the top, but I don't really see it that way. So I guess I would go, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then I'm still so new to TikTok. I don't know. What do you guys think in terms of uploading to TikTok? It's just another thing I should be doing. And I'm very aware of that. Like any content creators out there, that it's sensible to be everywhere always. But it's difficult to find the time. I see so many beautifully made things on TikTok that I'm like, God damn, I really need to, again, up my game. So I'm looking at all these things. TikTok sucks. TikTok rules. As long as it just doesn't detract from what I'm having to do every week on YouTube, really. So, yeah, what have I missed? Have I missed any other social media platforms? I mean, that shows you how important the other ones are to me. What are your thoughts, if any, on playing with flat strings? Flat wound strings? I never really thought about it for guitar. Bass makes sense. Nicholas, thank you very much for your donation. Rakausa, the professor or the skipper? Testing your Gilligan's Island pop culture. Do you know, I've been working with a producer that's surname is Gilligan. I don't have any knowledge of I mean, other than me Googling it right now. And I'm sorry. No, I don't have any knowledge of it. Soz. Jeff, how do you stay motivated to practice? Does hosting YouTube videos provide you that energy to stay sharp? I'm not sure I do stay sharp. I mean, got to be honest again, like, I'm not sure I do stay sharp. I know the need to stay sharp, and yet I just don't practice enough. I don't practice enough, and I'm willing to admit that because I think everyone goes through it. And you know, you just kind of have to figure out how you practice best. What I found recently is that I practice best through songwriting. And so technically I'm not really doing any like formal practice on the guitar, but I'm playing a lot and I'm trying to write songs with better chord progressions and licks, and trying to, if I can hear something that I want to add into the guitar part, I need to be able to translate that into the guitar part. One of the things I've been trying to do recently is arrange a very popular song for solo guitar, and that's really helped. So yeah, I guess you know, we all have to just do the best we can. I mean, some people will be like, oh, you can't be a guitarist unless you play 4 hours a day, and we know that's not true. You just have to be consistent with a little bit. It's like exercising. It's better to walk for half an hour a day, five days a week, rather than just go for 1 5-hour walk a week. You know, it's just the kind of same principle. Jerry, do you have family, friends, or other musicians that you're able to be with in person during the pandemic? Yeah, I have seen I was reunited with my family, which was really nice. And yeah, friends, not other musicians, haven't really been able to get in the room with anyone. So yeah, just mainly just focusing on friends and family at the moment, rather than too many different households, really. We're about to go into a national lockdown, I think, again. Plazej asks, what is your biggest dream? Possible to come true, not time traveling or something like that. What is my biggest dream? I guess to be a business owner, and that's starting to happen. And starting to use that for providing music education now. Like, it's sort of, my dreams have changed so much. Obviously that is from obviously that's from this year. Like, everyone's dreams, I think, have changed. Everyone's decisions have changed, and yeah, it's just it's all a bit strange. But yeah, right now I'm like, oh my god, like if live music is just not going to be the same for the next few years, at least, then we need to provide education for musicians online. So yeah, that's my biggest dream right now. Build a business that gives back, to be able to fund music schools and donate instruments, and just, it's kind of like the thing I'm kind of living for. Like, can you imagine seeing a child's face that's never owned a guitar before finally being able to like either own it or be loaned it for a long period of time. I think that's quite exciting, and the joy that they might get from that. So yeah, I'm just trying to. I know there are other charitable causes you could go for, but music is obviously close to my heart, and it's done so much for me. So just want to make sure that other people have that opportunity too. Jinte asks, if the pandemic has gone, which country do you want to travel first and why? I'd really love to go. Where would I love to go? I'd love to go to Vietnam, and I'd love to go to Thailand, and I'd love to visit Japan, and I would love to visit Australia for a long period of time, because I've only been briefly, and my grandparents lived there for 30 years, and once my grandfather passed away, my grandmother moved back over here, and I just feel like I have this connection to Australia, and I've just never really been for a long period of time. And actually, I do have an idea for a video that might come out on Sunday, where I do talk about a very, very brief trip, and obviously Ireland, obviously. And yeah, so many places. Michael asks, I've really enjoyed watching. Oh, it's just a lovely, just a lovely comment. I've really enjoyed watching your songwriting and guitar playing getting better and better. Thanks for the videos. Thank you very much. Ahmed asks, are you going to start vlogging? Would you like to see more vlogging from me? Okay, final question, I think. Doot beep boop beep doop beep doop beep 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 bop. Mary is processing this question. Stephen, even before the pandemic, I've been working on music by myself and honestly feel uninspired. How do you keep things inspired and moving when just writing by yourself and not having others to bounce ideas off or riff off of? I've always written alone. Always been a control freak when it comes to music. And I was a team player in classical music because I had to be in string quartets and orchestras and ensembles, and loved that collaborative effort. But songwriting was always like my little escape. So I've always been quite protective of it. And I don't know, there are some moments where I love conversing with other people over creative outlets, and making videos is one. Like, I love making videos with other people. Don't get to do that enough right now either. But making music, no, I'm pretty protective, and that doesn't mean that it's because I think it's the best. It's just the best way I work. And sometimes it's already hard enough to create something out of nothing. So, anyway, hopefully that answers. Mr. Straparo asks, how do you stay so beautiful? Well, I mean, it just comes so naturally to me. I don't know how to take that seriously. You guys know I just want to really talk about the work. Other than I have been trying to get fitter and healthier, which I think is really important to talk about, and make sure people, especially in this time, are trying to get some exercise and get some daylight. But otherwise it's makeup in it. Right, there we go. I'm blushing now. Right, hopefully that is everyone's question, because I don't want to miss anyone out, especially on this Patreon thing. But those were great. Thanks, guys. I have been on for about an hour, so this is perfect timing. That's a lot of questions in an hour. Thanks to everyone that has watched. Really, really appreciate you. I'm going to get back to work on a video that will hopefully come out tomorrow that I haven't started yet. So if you are needing to practice the guitar, go practice the guitar. If you're wanting to write a song, here is your permission to write a song. Write a sad song, write a happy song, write a song about something that you know about, and don't give a crap about what anyone else thinks about you, because you'll never find happiness there. All right. Thanks, Mom, Nathan says. You're welcome. Right. Let's get back to it. And I'll see you all very soon. I think we're going to make this definitely a monthly thing. I would love to live stream more. I enjoy it greatly. All right. Okay. Just do it. Yeah, stay safe, and I'll be seeing you very soon.